Alright, in this example, we are going to be graphing. Just like we can graph real numbers, like a coordinate 3, comma 2, we can graph imaginary numbers as well. Specifically, we're graphing a complex number, so it's a combination of a real number and then a complex number. The way that it's written is actually also different, right? So normally, we're used to seeing something like 2, comma 3. That's a coordinate, right? That's a coordinate in the real, in a real number system, like in a real plane, a real XY coordinate. But now we're dealing with the whole new world of numbers. So the way that it's written is now with a plus sign instead of a parenthesis, a comma, and there are no parentheses, all right? So the x-axis is the real axis, and the y-axis is the imaginary axis. So you can see how I've labeled this. All my regular numbers are here on the x, still positive, still negative, but now these are imaginary numbers, I, 2i, 3i, and so on, and then down below we have the negatives, all right? So the way that we graph this, you're going to catch on really quickly. We're going to start with the real and then go to the imaginary. So on the real axis, I need to go to positive 2. So positive 2 on the real axis is right here. But then I also need the intersection of 3i on the imaginary axis, which is right here. So just like we would graph a coordinate, if we look at the intersection of those 2 points, this is the point which we'll call 2 plus 3i. All right. Next we have negative 5 plus 4i. So I'm going to go to negative 5 on the real, and then to 4i on the imaginary. So I have negative, oops, see I'm in the habit of using parentheses, but I don't need them. Negative 5 plus 4i. Now these two are interesting because it's only one part, right? Just the imaginary and just the real. So let's think about what this would look like if it were written with both parts. There's no real part, so this would be 0, right? If it's not there, it has a value of 0. So this is 0 on the x-axis, on the real axis, and then negative 3i on the imaginary. So I'm not going to write it as 0 minus 3i because we always want to write it as simplified as possible, but this is the point negative 3i. Same goes for this. It's missing the imaginary part, so it must be 0i. So what I'm going to do is on the real, on the x-axis, I'm going to go to positive 5. But then on the imaginary axis, I'm going to go to 0i, which means I'm moving 0 units. So I'm on 5. So this would be labeled as 5. And that's all there is to it. So just be really careful because we're in habits of using commas and parentheses and things like that. So just be careful not to, label them that way because the notation is not the same.